Hi, good evening everyone.
Hi everyone.
This is session number 9, believe it or not.
Yep. Number
Wow.
9.
Yeah, we're moving along really quickly. That's good. I was just talking to Jules about how she was feeling to this point, and then I'll just let her give you some information on how are you feeling up to this point.
Just with all the activities and stuff that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's definitely been helping for sure. Like before I started here, I didn't have a team that I worked with, or I wasn't even aware that, you know, I could delegate and get some help. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really like, I think I'm really like Roger's been great for me. Like I'm really getting to know him, and I'm calling upon them for help. And then when I'm coming to you and I'm getting the validation that these things are right, it's actually been really helpful. And then just working on all these people, it's giving me confidence and just helping me to understand how the message comes through, because it really kind of comes through a bit like a memory, mm-hmm. or, you know, just
shared
a
memory.
thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it can easily, it's very subtle that it can easily be missed, mm-hmm. or even just assumed that it's my own thoughts. And so, yeah, no, I find these exercises are super helpful.
Great. Well, that's good to know. And if you're doing them at home, I hope you're doing a great job with them as well. All right, so I'm going to ask you about Debbie.
Yes.
This is Debbie. The second Debbie.
It is. And you know, it took me a little bit to get started because I had the other Debbie so like mm-hmm. in my mind that I wasn't sure if I was going to end up getting them mixed up.
Okay.
But I did have a connection with Debbie. I do feel like my connection with Debbie was farther away than my connections with some of the others.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm not going to say anything. You just tell me, give me the information, right?
Okay, so what I got for Debbie was, I felt like she was in her early 60s. She did not look old to me.
Okay.
And in fact, when I saw her, like physically, she looked like she was a medium build. I wouldn't say she was that tall. I felt like her face was quite youthful.
Just a minute. Wait a minute. I have to write this down because we have to go over it again. Okay. You felt she was medium build.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt that she had a youthful appearance and a fuller face. And not a lot of wrinkles at all, actually.
Okay. All right.
And I also felt that this person, the way she was carrying herself, the way she was holding her hand, she just seemed like a conservative person, you know? I got like a gentleness about her. And, you know, I felt like she was a very diplomatic person, mm-hmm. that she was an intelligent person, and that people would talk to her, like if they were wanting advice or something, that, you know, she's someone that people would call.
Okay.
I felt like she lived in a nice house, and I know she had a nice yard.
Okay.
And I did see a little white dog. Mm-hmm. The vehicle I saw in her driveway, I'm really bad with vehicles, but I thought it was like not a Jeep, but like
okay.
Sort of like a Jeepy thing.
Okay.
I know, sorry, I'm really bad with cars. So
don't say I'm really bad, because if you say I'm really bad,
right.
You're just cutting yourself off, okay?
Maybe like
So go with what you originally thought it was.
Well, it's kind of like a Jeepy looking, Range Rover looking, but it's not. You know what I mean? Okay. That's the best I can say.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was white for some reason. I thought, I don't know. And then as far as your relationship, I felt like you guys were friends. I felt like that when I saw you walking with her, You guys seemed chummy, and I felt like that based on how you looked, it looked like it was in the last 15 years that you guys were friends, because you were not really young. You were more like yourself.
Okay.
Um,
And okay, so that was the relationship you're giving, and you also, that kind of went into the shared memory. So can you go into the shared memory a little bit more?
that was all I got.
Okay, chummy.
Okay, well, I saw you guys walking together, and I think you even had like a green coat on with like a zipper, like a green, it was windy out, and you guys were just walking and talking.
Okay.
And it was just the energy between you guys. I got the sense that that this was like a friend of yours.
Okay. All right. So what else did we have here? Personality, physical characteristics, relationship,
And then her death.
lived. Yeah, the place that she lived. Just a nice house. Yep. And then you went back and got more information, right?
Yes, and so I had a hard time with the death. I really did.
Okay.
So I felt pressure in the back of, I felt pressure on my throat, like constricting or something, like a tightness around my throat. And I also sensed her having trouble clearing her throat. And so I kept digging into that and asking, like, is there more information? Is there more information? Good. And then I kind of saw her arguing with someone. So I saw a tall man with dark hair. He looked younger than her. He was a different nationality. And so I put, may have been an unhealthy relationship, because I don't know necessarily if this was the cause of her death, but when I was asking about it, this is what I was seeing. I saw some shoving, some threats.
Okay, go back. Stop.
Okay.
You're going too fast.
Okay, sorry.
I need to write this down. Different personality. And then
no, a different nationality.
Different nationality. Okay.
And then I just saw kind of shoving, like some fighting between two people. And then I thought I saw a knife.
Oh, okay.
I know, it's awful.
Okay.
But when I felt it in my body, like when I asked how this person passed in my body, like for me, it was like pressure all around my neck. I don't, and maybe in the head, like up into the head. But that was it. Like I couldn't pinpoint, so I went into the knife a bit to breathe into that and see if maybe I could feel like a stabbing sensation or something. And I really didn't.
Okay.
So, and I think that might be it for her.
Okay, all right. Well, that's great.
Oh, and then she said she liked roses and peanut brittle.
Okay. Okay, roses.
I know. I wasn't going to write it down, but I thought I wouldn't have thought of peanut brittle.
I know.
I like peanut brittle.
You write down every little thing that you think of, and you said something about her face, right? A fuller face and little wrinkles. Well, those resonate with me. So you need to write down just every little detail, even if it's a passing detail. So sometimes you have to ask Spirit to, can you just slow down for a minute? Just like I said to you.
Yeah.
Slow down, just stop for a minute. So when when I'm doing a reading or I'm on podium, that's what I have to do, is go, hey, just wait for a minute. Let me get this information out first, and then we can go back and have more. So I'm going to do the big reveal, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Debbie was she would have been in her early 50s, late 40s when she passed.
Okay.
That to me, what you said, her 60s and she didn't look that old, that still means something to me, because she's not a 90-year-old or she's not a 20-year-old. So you're getting it there. Physically seeing her, she's a medium build, and you said she wasn't tall. She was quite stocky, and I'd say she's probably maybe 5'2", 5'2", 5'3".
Yeah, so not tall, right? But stocky. Okay.
Yep. She did have a very youthful appearance. She had beautiful round face.
Can I just ask you something? Just back to like the age. So when you say her age, she looked more like that age. But when I saw her, I actually saw 60s. So I'm just wondering, like, if I would have never seen the 60s, I would have guessed that she looked younger.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't in that, you know? So I'm just wondering why I would have seen that.
I'm not too sure why.
Okay.
It's usually
You know what I think?
usually
It's
the
all
other
my
way
other
around.
readings. Everybody was within the same age almost.
maybe, I'm not too sure
Yeah,
why.
I don't know. Okay.
But when you say she didn't look like that, well, she looked younger. Well, yeah, she was younger.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Sometimes people are 60 and they look like they're 40. It just depends on the person, right?
Yeah.
The makeup of the person. Yeah, youthful appearance, yes. Fuller face, yes. Little wrinkles, she didn't have wrinkles. So she had beautiful
Yeah,
complexion.
she
She didn't have wrinkles. Okay, she was very, very caring. I would say she was a conservative person. She was a pretty black and white person. Gentleness, she was very, very gentle. Diplomatic. She ran her parents, like they had a kind of a ranch style restaurant. She ran that for a few years.
Okay.
And so she was troubleshooting all the time. So
Got
I'd
it.
say that she's, that's management skills that she had. And she was definitely easy to talk to, easy to open up to. Very, very intelligent. She did have a nice house. She had a lovely house. Her and her family built the house themselves.
Okay.
And she had a monstrous yard because she lived in the countryside. A white dog. I think that I remember seeing a little black and white dog.
It was
tiny wee
more
dog.
little. Like I would say the emphasis was more on little than white. Like I did see white, but it wasn't as important as that it was like a little, like a little thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she had a dog that was more like mid to smaller size. Okay, and this is interesting. You said like a Jeep, like a Range Rover. You didn't know. So you were on the verge of saying truck, weren't you?
Well, it wasn't. It's like, well, what is a Jeep? Is a Jeep a truck or a Range Rover?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Because she did drive an SUV and then she sold that, bought a truck, drove a truck, sold that and bought an SUV.
What's an SUV look like?
Well, just like my vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, well, to me that's kind of Jeepy, but okay, interesting. So that's good to know.
Yes, not a car. She didn't have a car.
Do you know what color it was?
I can't remember
Okay,
what color.
that's okay.
Yeah. The relationship, she definitely was my friend. Okay.
Had you known her in the last 15 years?
I knew her for about 15 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there
Yeah.
we go.
I would say I've been at the farm for about 20 years. And, okay, so up to date, I would have known her about 19 years.
Okay.
So that's good. All right. Now we're going on about a shared memory. Walking together, a green coat with a zipper. Now, I have a green coat with a zipper.
You know what? It's like it is. It's kind of fitted, but it has a zipper and it's green. For you, it was green. It was it was a dark green, like a.
I have an emerald green coat. Yeah. I don't know if I wore that with her, but that coat's probably 8 years old. So maybe. But you definitely have, you've tuned into me, psychically into me, okay, with that.
Okay.
And walking and talking. We did a lot together with our kids and other families' kids. Like there was a whole bunch of us. We did things together, so that was good. Now I want to go to the death. Pressure in the throat, constricting tightness, trouble clearing the throat. Those are all really good signs, and that's what she would have felt upon passing. She would have felt, or before she passed, upon the act of leaving this earth. She would have felt all of those things. Arguing, Yes, she didn't do the arguing. A man did the arguing. So this man was tall and he was dark-haired. He wasn't from a different country. He was from Canada here. Fighting, he was shoving her and fighting with her, but she wasn't fighting back. She didn't want to fight back.
Yeah, she's gentle. Like she's
very
timid.
Gentle. Yeah, I think she's trying to, like say, hey, it's okay. You don't need to be like that. There was, as far as I can remember, there was no saw or knife, but there was a sawed-off shotgun that was involved in this. And you said that you felt the death in your body. You felt a pressure around the neck and around the head.
Like in the roof, like I felt it in the back of my mouth and all in the back of my neck, and I just felt tight, a tightness. Mm-hmm. So, was she shot in the head?
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say what Jules had said is totally correct. Everything about the way she passed is accurate. So I'm going to tell Jules off video how she actually passed.
Okay.
But you are 100% correct on that. So Jules could have said, well, she died of cancer, or she had a car accident or something. But that's not what happened. Therefore, what Jules said is absolutely correct. She did die in that manner. She passed in that manner.
Wow, because it took a while to see that. Like, I contemplated cancer at first because I felt like maybe, but then I wasn't confident in that answer. And so I went back, and then when I went back, I saw like a little mini soap opera kind of playing out before me.
Yeah, yeah.
And, it was just enough to tell me that she may have been in an unhealthy relationship, but not enough to show me what exactly had happened.
She's now saying that, that happened to me here. She said, I've moved on. And I've forgiven and I've passed on. Yeah. And spirit is love and forgiveness. Mm-hmm. So she's love and forgiveness now. So she doesn't want to bring that back, okay? She just wants to let that go.
Got it. No,
so,
fair enough.
We really appreciate her coming. And she's standing over there. So I really appreciate you coming, Debbie, and Spirit's Love and Light. And she's going to just hang around while we finish this conversation. Goosebumps. Yeah. And she's laughing, because she was like that here as well. She always wanted to focus on the positive and not on the negative.
Got it.
So she was a ray of sunshine to everybody around her.
Which, is interesting because when I did some of the other readings, there was like little things that happened that maybe frightened me or made me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But with her, it was so subtle, like I could almost not pick up on it. So maybe that was her gentleness,
And this is a very good learning curve for you, because you've got another spirit, who is enlightened, who is not coming back and telling you the drama of what happened as well. Yeah, it's it definitely is enlightening the way she came into you.
Well, I had to work a little bit harder, and I appreciate that because I just do. It makes me like better. Yeah. So it's
okay. So we're going to conclude part 1, session 9, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Thank you.